Hey guys, Dr. DeAngelo Webster here, and if you're an employee dentist and you're trying to prepare yourself to be a practice owner in the next 12 months, we're going to talk about 3 things you can do to prepare. The first is going to be to get your time management right. The second is going to be to get your money ready. And the third is going to be to fix your actions. Okay? So little daily things you can do to move the ball forward. So when we talk about fixing your time, all right? Ownership's not magically going to happen overnight. Okay? Most dentists in dental school, they imagine owning a practice someday, but if you're an associate dentist, that hasn't happened yet, has it? And it will happen faster, and you'll better prepare yourselves in the next 12 months if you carve out time to move yourself closer to this goal. So, most associate dentists in general, only work 4 days a week. So you should treat that 5th day like a job. In the 5th day, you set aside in your schedule and block it out and say, I'm going to treat today like a work day, and fill it with things that are going to help me move the ball forward to being closer to a practice owner. Okay? You can use time during your lunch break. You could say, hey, Friday's my day off, it's my day off, but I've got an hour lunch. I can use 45 minutes of every day of my lunch break to move myself closer to this goal that I want to happen. Your commute. Okay, your commute, maybe you drive 30 minutes each way, maybe you drive an hour each way, and that just becomes Ownership University. And while you're driving, you're listening to ownership content, you're listening to the Practice Biopsy podcast, you're listening to the different resources that are out there that can help you. There's a lot of time you can reclaim during the week that will help you move closer to this goal. But ownership and preparing yourself for ownership does require time in your calendar. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is getting your money ready, okay? So I talk with many dentists who are getting ready mentally to make that leap from associate dentist to owner dentist, and they ask how much money they should have set aside. So let's be clear, most banks and most lenders, if you're buying a practice or even starting up a practice, unless you're buying the real estate, that's separate. But to start or buy a practice, they usually don't require any money down. But they do require typically you to have cash on hand, usually in the amount of 10% of the deal. So if you want to buy a practice that's $1 million, they're going to want to see that you have $100,000 cash available. If you're going to do a startup for $500,000, they're going to want to see that you have about $50,000 worth of cash available on hand. That's a general guideline for most lenders. So you want to make sure that you're preparing and saving yourself to have that as a cushion, because the lenders will look for that most of the time. Okay, the third thing we're going to talk about is fixing your actions. So in the first step, we talked about setting aside time. We're setting aside a day a week. Friday, we treat like a work day to move ourselves towards ownership, or our lunch break. But what are we doing with that time? Okay, so I want you to take consistent actions every day, and attached with this video in the comments or in a link that you'll find nearby here, I've attached a link where you can get a list of 25 small things that you can do that move the ball forward towards ownership. And each of the 25 things takes no longer than the time to eat a bag of potato chips. So if you have time to sit around and eat a bag of chips, you can do something from this list that will move you closer to your goal. These things could be practicing reading a P&L, making a phone call and talking to a mentor who's an owner, running demographics reports, looking at local real estate listings, calling some people that could be members of your professional network and trying to meet those people. All of these things are things that you can do to move the ball forward, when honestly, a lot of dentists who say they want to be practice owners aren't doing any of these things at all. Okay, so I've got that list. You can download it. And the more of these actions you take, the more knowledge you're going to get. And the more knowledge that you get, the less of this is going to seem mysterious, and you move closer to your goal as you acquire more confidence, okay? Because confidence of being ready and feeling ready to be a practice owner in the next 12 months is not just a feeling. The confidence is a result of accumulated actions towards a predetermined goal.
Making it happen, and we so passionate. That's right. With dental training, growing your dental practices every single day. Gotta keep rising, be a better version of you. We call it Kaizen. Yeah.